Welcome to That Guy Talks Movies. I am That Guy Talking Movies, and on this episode, we will talk about Guy Ritchie's latest World War II-esque, sort of based on a true story, a little bit, mostly, movie called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Inglorious Bastards. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Bastards. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Next, That Guy Talks Movies. Okay, so let's get into this really quick. You know, when I saw the trailer for this, now I know I'm being funny with the title and I'm referencing Inglourious Bastards, but when I think as everyone did instinctively, as soon as you saw the trailer for this, you were like, oh, it's Inglourious Bastards, but not. Let's just see what's going to happen. So Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. This is Guy Ritchie. It's based on Churchill's Secret Warriors, the explosive true story of the special forces, desperados of World War II. The film portrays a heavily fictionalized version of an operation called Operation Postmaster. So this was a World War II covert mission where they sent a bunch of rogue guys out to basically get to sink a Nazi ship, supply ship, basically disrupting their supply chain and trying to affect World War II. So this movie stars Henry Cavill as the leader of that rogue band of guys, and you got Isa Gonzalez, who is absolutely phenomenal in terms of just being a screen beauty. Alan Richardson, Alex Pettyfer, Hero Finn, Stefan Babs, Ola Simonku, who you might know as Jameis from Dune, Henry Golding, and Gary Elwes, who you might remember from The Princess Bride and the Saw movie, the first Saw movie. So again, this is a band of badasses with a typical stereotypical set of special skills, all set out on a rogue covert mission to destroy a Nazi supply boat. Now, how much of this story is true versus what is not? Does it matter? Probably not. Now, unless you're seriously peeping history and the events of World War II and when the United States entered into it versus what Churchill says in this movie and all the other things, it really won't make a difference. This is a movie about killing Nazis, and that's what this is. The only thing that I would say is that this feels like Inglourious Bastards light. That's what it feels like. Like if there was a lower version of it. It doesn't mean that the film is bad. I think the film is entertaining. But let me just get that out of the way. This will be a pretty short video, but it's an entertaining film. The action sequences are pretty good. The characters, Henry Cavill does a great job here. There's some, I don't think it's, I don't think there's any bad performances by anyone. I think that the action works. If you want to see people running around shooting Nazis, that's what this really is. The issue for me comes up with the fact that there's very little stakes at play here. In other words, you never feel as if there's a situation where they've gone into, their actual plan hits a hiccup or something, turns them around and they're going to be screwed now. And the stakes are getting higher and higher and they are having to fix it. There are some hiccups and they have to make a few adjustments, but you always feel like they're just kind of just going through, doing what they do. They have no casualties. It's just working. Everything works out for them. And so it moves pretty fast, which is to its credit a good thing, but it just seems empty. Like it just seems like, well, they have a couple of little things they have to navigate, but overall they just they just go through everything and everything is like working out for them. The subplot here, where you've got two of the spies have to basically keep the Nazis occupied while the other team, Henry Cavill's team, is going to go in and try to, destroy this Nazi vessel, this boat. That kind of slows things down because it doesn't really work very well. And it's also part of my complaint in terms of stakes, right? There are some things that are happening there. This is a spoiler-free video, so I won't say anything, but there are some things that happen there where you would expect it's really going to put, the fly in the ointment. It's really going to cause a problem. And it never really escalates to that point. So it's just kind of like blah. And then as far as the, in that same setting, in that same subplot, in those scenes, there is a almost direct ripoff from Inglourious Bastards where, I'm not even going to say anything. You'll notice it right away. And for me, again, it feels like Inglourious Bastards light. Inglourious Bastards, this was an attempt to do the same in a fun way. And I'm not saying Guy Ritchie had to copy it, but it's kind of clear. It's like, all right, let me try my take at this. And it doesn't work nearly as well. So that's my thought on this film. I would say definitely see it. It's worth watching. Now, speaking of Inglourious Bastards, Till Schweiger, Hugo Stiglitz, everyone knows who Hugo Stiglitz is. Hugo Stiglitz is in this movie, Till Schweiger, and he does a great job. The problem is he's in that subplot section that I talked about where two of the spies have to keep the officers and he's the top officer. And he's a great actor. And in the opening of his dialogue, like him, when he comes on screen, it's great, but it never goes anywhere. He's actually supposed to be this truly evil Nazi. And I think there's even a line that says something like, at one point, the only thing worse than a Nazi is this guy. Like he's below a Nazi. That's how bad he is. But it never really comes to fruition. You never really get a sense of like how bad he is. And he never gets to flex that badness, if that's the right way to say it. So yeah, he's a great performer. I love watching him on screen. I think he should be doing much more work. But that's really my take on this film. I think it's worth seeing in the theater. I think it's fun. I think Guy Ritchie commands the directing thing pretty well here. Again, there are some performances that are pretty great. It holds up. It's got its wittiness. It's got its charm. It plays sort of like a Marvel movie where you get a bunch of people together and they're kind of witty and fun and everyone has their own skill set and they all work together to do whatever to defeat the bad guy. In this case, Nazis. Just not Inglourious Basterds. So it just made me want to watch Inglourious Basterds. So that's probably what I'm going to do today. So anyway, that's my review on the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you plan on seeing it, let me know after you see it what you think in the comments below. If you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. I talk about films and random stuff here and there, and sometimes it's entertainment, and I'm kind of wavering back and forth, but whatever. If you like movie stuff and you like this video, subscribe to the channel. To my subscribers who already subscribe, who are already watching this video, appreciate y'all very, very, very much. Please like the video on the way out. I also appreciate that. It helps the YouTube algorithm, makes things go much smoother. So that's really it for me on That Guy Talks Movies. I will see you on the next one. Peace.